So I just got in my ECS Tuning diverter valve spacer for my 2018 GTI and decided to do a video on the install. Since it's a new product, it doesn't appear that there's any out there yet. I went ahead and loosened everything up so that I didn't have to fumble around with it while I'm videoing. You don't need a whole lot for it. The biggest pain for me was actually getting that hose clamp nut loosened so I can take my part of the air intake track off. Only tools you really need are 7mm socket for that, or a screwdriver, but I don't know how you would maneuver that in there. 5mm ball Allen, hopefully a long one will help, and something to undo the diverter valve connector. So again, I loosened everything up already, so I'm just going to kind of pop things out of the way. Take the intake off. This connector comes up by just prying up on this little tab here gently to make sure not to crack anything. That comes off. There are 3 bolts that need to come out of here. Got that one, and there is one hidden under here that is a bit of a pain to get to. Next, we are just going to loosen these. Make sure not to drop them. Another tip is make sure the car is cool when you do this. The turbos get really hot. Got the first one off. There's that one. Well, I thought I wouldn't fumble around with this, but it's a tight space to try to work in. Alright, got that one. Sorry about the shaky video, but trying to do this with one hand. It is not the easiest thing to do, apparently. Get that tucked out of the way. Alright, that is the OE diverter valve. So here is the spacer. Comes with 3 longer bolts and our diverter valve spacer. A little opening. Alright, so I'm going to try to install this. Looks like with the bottom bolt in place will be the easiest way to get this started, since the opening is pretty tight for maneuvering things through here. Apparently it's a tight fit. Alright, so that could have gone terribly wrong. Apparently, this little assembly in here is spring-loaded and is easily knocked out of place. Make sure you don't lose any springs when you do this. So, see if it works easier to put the spacer on first. This little bit of the intake track is really in the way here. Not currently sure what needs to loosen to take this off, so I'm just gonna be stubborn and keep at it. And there we go. Line everything up. Get our first bolt. And drop it like an idiot. I tighten things down too much until I figure out where that screw went. Was able to find it. Had an extendable magnet. Was able to pick it up. Let's see if I can get it in place without dropping it a second time. Of course, this is going to be the difficult bolt. This might work. Get it lined up in there and then see if I can maneuver the magnet out without pulling the bolt out. Alright, now that all that fun's over with, ECS recommends torquing these bolts to 10 Newton meters or 7 foot-pounds. I have absolutely no idea how anyone would get a torque wrench in a way to do this, so I'm just going to snug them up. After the first couple drives, I'll take the intake track off, snug them up a little bit more, make sure they haven't backed out. perfect to get a little bit more torque out of this. Put a little socket on it. Give it a little extra twist. I'm not going to crank it down very tight because 7 foot-pounds is not a whole lot of pressure. It was all fueled up. And just put everything back together and crank it up and see how it sounds. I'm hoping for a noticeable difference, but not expecting anything too dramatic. So the bolts tightened up, we've got our connector back on. Intake track. And let me spin this around somewhere that's going to be more accessible. Alright. That should be easier later down the road when I decide to upgrade this tubing. So, intake's back together, diverter valve connectors there, got our spacer in there. I don't know why my phone won't focus, but it's there. It's time to start it up, see how it sounds.